Hello children, good morning. I Hital Shah welcome you to the next session of biology. We'll continue with lesson number 6, tissues. In the last session we had discussed about what are cells, what are tissues, what are the types of tissues. In this session we'll proceed further with the types of the plant tissues in detail. Before we move on to the types of plant tissues, let us revise the definition of tissues. What are tissues? A group of cells that are specialized to perform a particular function forms a tissue. The cells are the fundamental unit of life. They are the base and they are found in all types of plants and animals and even in microorganisms. So they are found in multicellular as well as unicellular organisms. Now these cells, when they form a group or when they group together in the form of clusters, they are supposed to perform a particular function in the body. In order to make the body live, these cells work together. So when they work together, that group of cells are termed as tissues. So these tissues perform particular functions in the body. When we talk about the types of tissues, there are basically two types of tissues. They are the plant tissues and the animal tissues. Let us talk further about plant tissues. Plants, as we know, they do not move. That is, they are stationary. They don't have to move from one place to another in search of food or shelter. Why? Because they are autotrophs and they make their own food with the process of photosynthesis. So, most of the tissues that are present in the plants, are supportive and that provides them with structural strength. That means वो उसको ताकत देता है, वो plants को क्या देता है, ताकत देता है. And most of these tissues are dead as they can provide better mechanical strength than the live ones. Plants में जो tissues होते हैं, they are the dead tissues. Why? Because with that also they can provide the mechanical strength. वो जो उसको सपोर्ट चाहिए, उसको स्ट्रेंथ चाहिए, वो डेड टिश्यूज़ दे देते हैं देन द लाइव वंस. एंड दे इवन नीड लेस मेंटेनेंस. उसके पीछे जो मेंटेनेंस होता है वो कम होता है. सो द टिश्यूज़ दैट आर प्रेजेंट इन द प्लांट आर डेड. Some of the plant tissues keep on dividing throughout the plant life. These tissues are localized in certain regions. Localized means they are found. There are some tissues which you can find in particular region of the plant. So when we move further, we'll talk about it, where they are found. First, let us talk about the types of plant tissues. Based on the dividing capacity of the tissues, as we talked further that all tissues have to perform specialized function. So there is division of labor, as we had discussed in the previous session that they have division of labor. The work is divided. जैसे हम करते हैं, कोई अगर फंक्शन हुआ स्कूल में, then what do? We allot duties to certain people that they have to work for certain things. Likewise, for these tissues also there are certain functions that they need to perform. So depending upon the dividing capacity of the tissues, various plant tissues can be classified as growing or meristematic tissues. Now why they are termed as growing tissues? Because they help to grow. They help the plant to grow. And the other type of tissues are permanent tissues. Now this meristematic tissues and permanent tissues are even further subdivided as follows. Let us see how they are subdivided. As you can see in this diagram that plant tissues are classified as meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Now, these meristematic tissues are further classified as apical meristematic tissues, lateral meristem, and intercalary meristematic tissues. The other type of tissues that are permanent tissues are further subclassified into simple tissues or simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. These simple permanent tissues are further subclassified into parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, and protective tissues. The complex tissues are further subdivided into phloem and xylem. We'll be talking about the permanent tissues in the next session. In this session, we'll move further with the meristematic tissues in detail. Now, what are meristematic tissues? Meristematic tissues, as we saw before, they are the growing tissues. So, they are responsible for growth in plants. So, the cells in these tissues can divide and form new cells. Now, as we talked before, meristematic tissues are further classified into three types, or they are of three types. The first one is apical meristem, second one is lateral meristem or cambium, and the third classification or the third type of meristematic tissue is intercalary meristem. Just check in the second one, the lateral meristem. There is a mistake in the second number, so please correct it and write. In your notes it is given correctly. Okay, now let us see what is apical meristem. It is present at the growing tip of the stem and roots and increases the length. As the name suggests, apical. Apical means on the top. So, it is present at the growing tip of the stem. So, whatever length, there is increase in length, it is due to the apical meristem. The lateral part means the middle part, or it is also termed as the cambium. So, it is present beneath the bark. You know the bark of the tree or the plant. So, now what is it responsible? It is responsible for growth in girth of the trunk. तो अंदर का जो ग्रोथ होता है that is done through the lateral meristem. The third type of tissue is the intercalary meristem. It is present at internodes or base of the leaves. Leaves का जो base होता है उसके ऊपर जो present होता है उसको कहते हैं intercalary meristem. Inter means between. And what does it do? It increases the length between the nodes. Now what are nodes? If you have seen the sugar cane, you will be easily recognizing what are nodes. So with the help of that you can see that from the nodes the leaf arises, and from that again if you cut that portion and put it in the ground, from that a new plant arises. So let us see the diagram further, so you will understand it better. As you see in this figure, the parts that are labeled here shows the location of meristematic tissues in the plant body. You can see at the top the apical meristem. In between you can see the intercalary meristem, where as we talked about that the nodes are there, and the last part, that is the lateral meristem. Okay, now let us perform an activity to prove that growth takes place in plants. So how does this tissues help in the growth of roots in the plants? So here we have taken the example of a bulb, that is the onion bulb. This activity is very easy, even you can perform it because very less material is required. Just require 2 jars or beakers. You can even take a glass, 2 onions and water. Now this activity I'll perform it afterwards, because I want you to perform this activity and put it in the group and share it with everyone, so that others also learn. Now this time if you don't share any video, then I'm going to cut your internal marks. So please do this activity on your own, and please share the video with your friends. Okay, now let's see the procedure. What you have to do in this activity: you have to take 2 glass jars and fill them with water. Now take 2 onion bulbs and place one on each jar. As you had seen in the previous figure, that we had taken 2 onions and we have to place it on each jar. Both jars you have to take, and in that you have to put an onion. What you have to do now is you have to observe the growth of roots in both the bulbs for a few days. With this you have to measure the length of roots on day 1, 2 and 3. 3 दिन तक आपको उसका लेंथ मेजर करना है. So it's easy. You can take a scale. You can measure the length of it in centimeters. Please don't forget to write the unit while you are writing the length. Okay, now what you have to do on day 4 is cut the root tips of the onion bulb in jar 2 by about 1 centimeter. जो दूसरा वाला जार है उसमें से 1 सेंटीमीटर जितना रूट टिप्स हमें काट देना है. After this, observe the growth of roots in both the jars and measure the lengths each day for 5 more days and record the observations in table. Now I'll show you the table, how you have to mention it or how you have to write in the table. Now as you see in this table, you can see the length in jar 1 and jar 2. Here in the columns you are given day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 and day 5. So measure the length and just keep on comparing for 5 consecutive days. So now you have to record your observation. Now while you are doing this, you also have to answer the following questions. The first question is, which of the 2 onions has longer roots? So you have to write the onion in jar 1 or onion in jar 2. तो दोनों में से किसके रूट्स लॉन्गर है, एंड यू हैव टू ऑल्सो मेंशन द रीज़न वाई. अनलेस यू डू दिस एक्टिविटी यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू record the observation in the observation table. So please perform this experiment at home. It's not an experiment, it's an activity. Okay, now the next question. Do the roots continue growing even after we have removed their tips? So we have trimmed it, we have cut it with the help of scissors 1 centimeter. So you have to observe that after we have cut the root or the tip, does it grow further? Why would the tip stop growing in jar 2 after we have cut them? Now see, here you have got almost the answer, but only if you listen it carefully and if you have done the activity nicely. So you have to give the reason that after cutting the tips, why they have stopped growing in jar 2. Okay, now I'll tell you the reason. The growth of plant occurs only in certain specific regions. As we had discussed about the functions of tissues, as we had talked about the tissues that are localized in specific regions in the plant. So the growth of plants also, as we talked about the main function of the meristematic tissue, that it is responsible for growth. So if we cut it, then that growth ceases or the growth stops. Why? Because the dividing tissue, also known as the meristematic tissue, is located only at these points. जहाँ से हमने कट किया है वहीं पे मेरिस्टेमेटिक टिश्यू है, तो ग्रोथ तो बंद ही हो जाएगा. So, depending on the region where they are present, meristematic tissues are classified as, जैसे हमने आगे बात की थी, I am again proving this, that it is classified as apical, lateral and intercalary. So, what would happen? New cells that are produced by meristem are initially like those of meristem itself. जो नए मेरिस्टम सेल्स होते हैं वो जो पुराने वाले मेरिस्टम सेल्स होते हैं उनके जैसे ही होते हैं, बट एज दे ग्रो एंड मेच्योर देयर कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स स्लोली चेंज एंड दे बिकम डिफ्रेंशिएटेड एज कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ अदर टिश्यूज. नाउ व्हाट हैपन्स? once they start growing, once they get matured, their characteristics change and they take the form of the other tissues. So, apical meristem is present at the growing tip of the stem and roots and increases the length of the stem and root. Now, I am talking about the specific regions. That apical meristem, as it is present at the tip, it helps in the increase of the length of the stem and the root. The girth of the stem or root increases due to the lateral meristem or cambium, जैसे हमने आगे डिस्कस किया. I am coming back to the point again because I want to prove, as we have done in the activity, I have mentioned these functions again so that you can recall and now understand it well. Intercalary meristem is seen in some plants, that is located near the node. अब आपको पता चला कि नोड कहाँ होता है और इंटरकैलरी मेरिस्टम कहाँ होता है. नाउ द सेल्स ऑफ मेरिस्टेमेटिक टिश्यूज आर वेरी एक्टिव. नाउ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ द मेरिस्टेमेटिक टिश्यूज. उसके कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या है? सो दे आर वेरी एक्टिव, दे हैव डेंस साइटोप्लाज्म. You have learned about the plant cell and the animal cell. We have also discussed about the onion cells. So now you just recall the lesson that we had learned previously, the fundamental unit of life. In that we have talked about the contents of the cell and we know what is cytoplasm, we know what is cellulose, what is cell wall, what is nuclei, what are vacuoles. So these organelles, if you know that chapter, it will be helpful to you in this chapter as well. So you can see that when we talk about the cells of the meristematic tissues, then they have thin cellulose walls, so the wall is not very thick, and prominent nuclei. We have talked about the nucleus, we have talked about nuclei bond organelles. And here there is one more characteristics, that they lack vacuoles. Now, why they lack vacuoles? Now, this you have to refer to the previous chapter and you have to write the reason for this. This answer you have to give, that why vacuoles are not present in the cells. Okay, I hope you have understood this much part of meristematic tissues. Perform the activity, fill the observation table and please send it to me so that I come to know that you have performed the experiment yourself. And please post your video of activity in the group so that you can share with others so that they can also learn. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you. If you still have any doubt, you can ask me anytime. Thank you.